Hello everyone and welcome on back. Today I've got a few fights that I wanted to share with you guys and a little bit of information that I learned today. So I've been doing a lot of PvP since New World came out about a week ago, and I've had the pleasure of fighting a lot of players that are also higher level than me. I haven't been in a huge rush to level myself, as I'm focusing on leveling my crafts to pretty much provide myself with gear for future builds. Now, one thing that I noticed while fighting higher level players is that some of them have a lot more power for their level than another player. I've run into some players around level 45 that are significantly more powerful than any other level 45 I ran into. And I was really curious as to how and why people were able to get their character to be so strong early game PvP, even compared to someone exactly their level. And after discussing it a little bit with my stream chat, I realized that the battle scaling system is a huge part of why some people feel more powerful. And I got a pretty big hint as to what's causing these battle level stats to be so strong. The culprit is really powerful weapons and armor for their respective level. Every single piece of armor in the game has a required level for you to equip it. If you've looked at your armor, you may have noticed that as the quality of the gear increases from green to blue to purple, so does the base gear score of the item. And this is true for an item that is level 30. A level 30 green piece of gear will have on average a lower gear score than a level 30 purple piece of gear. Now, it wasn't just the fact that the items were higher quality that was causing them to be so powerful. There are specific name drops in the game, especially those that you get from doing the dungeons or the expeditions in the game, that have very, very high gear score levels for that item's respective level. Now, this becomes a huge deal for PvP because of how the game actually calculates your stats in PvP. You don't use the stats that your character has when you fight another player. Your stats are first inflated to that of a level 60 based on your current gear score and your gear's current level, and then so is your opponent's stats, and then the game will calculate the damage between you two. So if you have two players, both level 35, one of them is fully decked out in green gear with a gear score of 390, and the other one is fully decked out in special dungeon drops, their gear score at level 35 will be significantly higher than the player in the green gear. And finally, something really interesting I noticed about all of this is that the level of the item itself doesn't seem to matter as much as you would think. And it would appear that having a higher quality item versus a higher level item is actually better for PvP because of how the game is calculating your gear score with the scaling system. Now, I'm not entirely sure on the hard numbers of all of these things. This is just what I've noticed from playing the game and doing some testing with my friends. But one thing I definitely can confirm: these dungeon item drops are very powerful for their respective levels, and you definitely notice the power increase when you fight against them in PvP. I know there's a lot of world bosses that have their own unique weapon and item drops, and I'm not sure if the world boss drops actually have inflated stats for the item's level. If they do, then they absolutely fall into the same category as the dungeon items as really powerful PvP items. So I had a couple fights I wanted to show you guys versus some higher level players that really highlight the difference in power if you're willing to go out and get some of these dungeon drops versus if you don't have them. Now, this first fight here is against a higher level player who is running the Great Axe and Hatchet combo. This guy is level 42 and I'm level 30 at the time. And look at the big damage difference between me and him throughout the course of this fight. He is very, very tanky. He's got to be spec'd quite a bit into Constitution, and he's got heavy armor on, so he's not taking very much damage at all from me. Keep in mind that I am on a dexterity build, so the Ice Gauntlet's not going to do a lot of damage. We're looking specifically at the spear damage. You can see a lot of my attacks are doing about 2 to 500 damage if they crit against this player. And there I hit him with the sweep into the stab on the spear, and you can see us critting at 630 damage. Not too crazy. He hits us with one move there, takes 600 of our health out, a light attack for another 600 health. He's dealing significantly more damage to us than we are to him. Now, keep in mind, I am in light armor too, which definitely makes me squishier, but yeah, this exchange here, like, we are dancing around this guy. I've hit him with so many attacks. We have definitely hit him way more times than he's hit us. We've trapped him with a lot of stuns. We've dodged almost all of his critical moves, but he's just clipped us with 1 or 2 odd light attacks, and he's landed about 3 or 4 now, and I'm almost completely dead. We get a great stun combo on him there, and I try to roll through him, and he actually connects kind of in the middle of the roll with the hatchet there. Now, after fighting him, I got to take a peek at his weapon. I didn't get to see all of his gear or his gear score, but his weapon at least was the powerful dungeon drop axe that you get from the level 35 dungeon. The weapon that I was using is a level 29 spear. It's not that much lower level than him, and it's also blue quality like his axe, but his axe having a significantly higher gear score for its respective level versus my spear, I think is the big difference in why he's doing so much damage and he's so much more durable than I am too. Now, I've got another fight for you guys, this time against a level 47 who has a really high quality purple Ice Gauntlet that he got from a dungeon run too. Now, in this fight here, my opponent is in medium armor, so he is a little bit more durable than I am. However, in light armor, I should have a bit of a damage bonus to help make up for the lack of durability. This guy, however, is going to take massive chunks out of me if he connects too much with that Ice Gauntlet. There you can see he's hitting me for about 450 damage with the light attack, and he goes for his rapier gap close 618 backstab poke light attack. He's hitting me hard. He can definitely combo me out in just a handful of moves. And there you see, we actually get him really close to dead, and I throw the spear, but he has grit as he drinks his potion, so I'm unable to get that stun, and a massive 1k chunk out of my health when he breaks out of that ice tomb. And now, well, we got to try to avoid every single hit or we're very close to dead. Just managed to survive the mutual exchange, getting the stun off the pole vault, and I managed to bring him down. Just as a disclaimer, I did fight both those players quite a few times, and on average, they kicked my butt. That being said, it was still a good experience and challenge, and it led to me learning a lot about the scaling system that I didn't know before. So I hope that this video gave you guys some information too. Something that kind of comes out of this for me is that there's a possibility, especially late game, if you gear out a low level character with these special dungeon name drops which you can actually craft at late game, can that low level character now be competitive with an end game player in an end game build? That's something I really want to find out in the future, and I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on that too. I'll let you guys enjoy the footage as we say goodbye. If you're looking for New World PvP builds or just general information on New World, you can check out my website, pvpnewworld.com. Everything you need on there. You can give me a follow on Twitter if you guys want to keep up to date with me, and of course follow me on Twitch if you want to catch me for some live gameplay. I would love to do a top 5 battle series for New World. If you guys have some awesome clips of PvP that you want to send in to be featured on the channel, you can send that to Christopher@pvpnewworld.com, and best of luck to everybody. We are sponsored by What the Fast. They're a VPN for gamers. They can give you better ping to your favorite games, free to try for the first month. There's a link down below in the description for you guys. And then last but not least, a massive thank you and shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show and making this dream a reality for me. New World has been absolutely amazing for my channel and my content, and I can't wait to keep creating more for you guys. So thank you again. Thank you everybody for tuning in and watching today. As always, I hope that you guys enjoyed. Have a great night, everyone, and look forward to a spear build coming in the near future.